Hello Eastern, and welcome to the November 15th edition of ETV News. I'm Connor O'Malley.
And I'm Imani Futrell. Thank you so much for joining us.
On November 19th at 7:30 p.m. in the Fine Arts Instructional Center Concert Hall, Eastern Connecticut State University will host a concert titled Remembrance and Reflection. The concert is dedicated to Victoria Soto's memory and other victims of the Sandy Hook school shooting in December of 2012. Making its regional premiere at this concert, Into the Silent Land is composed by Stephen Danu, who grew up less than a mile from Sandy Hook Elementary School. He created this piece for the victims and their families.
Eastern hosted several A&E network executives on November 7th. They discussed the representation of crime on television. Students also inquired about the difficulties of filming shows such as Live PD. Sean Gottlieb, Vice President of Development and Programming, talked in detail about the humanizing aspect of showing police interactions and how the documentary crew or body cams often captured things that the officers missed. The event was sponsored by the Department of Sociology, Anthropology, Criminology, and Social Work.
Through a new opportunity in the biology department, Eastern students are tapping into the Tiny Earth Network, an international crowdsourcing effort that engages young scientists in the search for new antibiotic medicines. Antibiotics are used to treat bacterial infections such as pneumonia. Through Bio 334 General Microbiology, Eastern students have joined in the pursuit of new antibiotics by examining microorganisms found in soil. A goal of the project is to get young people excited about science while training them important molecular techniques.
Eastern held its annual Veterans Day ceremony on November 9th in the Student Center. Vice President of the Student Affairs, Walter Diaz, shifted the focus of the ceremony to Eastern's campus. Today we celebrate the vets who live, work, and study on this campus. We enjoy a true democracy because of their sacrifice. In closing the event, coordinator of the Vets Center called attention to Willimantic's new Veterans Coffee House. Starting November 28th, the coffee house will occur every Wednesday from 9 to 11 a.m. in the Salvation Army at 316 Pleasant Street in Willimantic. The Veterans Coffee House is open to all veterans to meet, socialize, and discuss benefits and services.
With finals slowly approaching, students have been overwhelmed, so UROC decided to put on an event to help those who are stressed. Doreen Beaudoux attended this self-care night. Let's take a look.
Staying healthy is an important part of college life, and many students neglect it, from staying up late for homework, constantly doing activities, or having a poor diet. Here at Eastern, the University Residential Outreach Council hosted a self-care event for students to take the edge off for a night. From 7 to 9 p.m. on Monday, November 12th, Eastern students gathered in the Betty Tipton room for activities that promoted self-care.
Well, my friends and I came, and we went to this mason jar place, and we filled up these papers with inside jokes and things that we like about each other, and we just put it in each other's mason jar, so that was pretty cool.
The club offered students to make their own self-care kit, which included DIY body scrubs, gratitude jars, bamboo, massages, hot chocolate, tea, and name coloring station. All of these activities were free for students.
Self-care is really important, and I know a lot of people are very into that right now, so I was like, may as well just make it an event, and here we are.
This relaxing night was designed for those who have been stressed or anxious with school. With finals approaching, most students have been exhausted.
Yeah, school is extremely stressful, especially that we just finished midterms, and now it's the end of the first semester. And for freshmen, who it's their first semester, they're new to college and everything.
Monday night's event was just a sampling of their recent success. UROC is currently planning a trip to New York City, where students can spend the day for only $10. For information about UROC or suggestions to the club, be sure to attend their weekly meetings on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. in the Student Center 107. I'm Doreen Beaudoux. This is ETV News.
Thanks, Doreen. Eastern Connecticut State University was recognized by a Scholar Match as one of the standout colleges in the United States, providing support for first-generation and low-income students. Scholar Match is a San Francisco-based nonprofit organization. Its mission is to make higher education possible for young people from modest backgrounds. Each year, Scholar Match analyzes 1,400 U.S. colleges and universities using public data and information from College Scorecard to determine which schools offer the most supportive environments for students whose families each earn less than $50,000 per year. Read more about Scholar Match at scholarmatch.org.
Hartford police are investigating 2 separate shootings on Monday night. Officers said the first shooting happened at 6:59 p.m. on Pliny Street, where a 17-year-old was transported by a private vehicle to Connecticut's Children's Medical Center with a gunshot wound to the abdomen. Then came another gunshot around 8 p.m. Officials said a 23-year-old man suffered a non-life-threatening gunshot wound to the upper arm and was in stable condition. He was expected to be discharged on Monday night until they found out the man who had 2 warrants out for his arrest. From there, they took him into custody after treatment. Officers have determined these 2 shootings are not related.
Eastern is home to many clubs, and earlier this week, ETV News reporter Maggie Shaws had the opportunity to sit in one particular club's meeting. Let's take a look.
One thing that makes ECSU so special is the richness of its clubs. With over 60 to choose from, you're sure to find interest in at least one. Today's club withholds a compelling mission. Can you guess which one?
Love Your Melon is a nationwide organization that has one very simple goal.
Love Your Melon is an American hat and apparel company that donates 50% of its profits to benefit children with pediatric cancer in the U.S.
Love Your Melon is not just at Eastern, it's also at hundreds of other schools around the United States, and we collaborate with other schools. We shout them out, we work with them for events and fundraising, and then they can shout us out to social media and ideas and stuff like that.
The Love Your Melon group here at Eastern has visited many hospitals, including the Connecticut Children's Medical Center in Hartford and Bay State Children's Hospital in Springfield, Mass. Club member Jessica Colonus gets a lot out of participating in the club.
Love Your Melon means to me giving back to the community and being a part of something bigger than myself.
The book, The Adventures of the Super Crew, is a story about superheroes that encourage kids to battle through difficult times. And the Love Your Melon club members help bring that story to life when they visit the children in the hospital.
Visiting the hospital is one of my favorite parts about being part of Love Your Melon. It really captures what we're all about. We go to the hospital and we wear our capes to signify the characters for Love Your Melon, and there's a bunch, all different ones that signify different things to the children that have read the superhero book. And it's basically that you're being a superhero to them, and you're coming in and you're saving the day, and you're giving them a hat and making them smile and making their day.
For more information or interest in joining, email loveyourmelon at my.easternconnecticut.edu. This was Maggie Shaws reporting for ETV News, sending it back to our superheroes at the studio.
Thanks, Maggie. If you are interested in supporting their cause, on Friday, December 7th in the Mead Common area from 3 to 5 p.m., Love Your Melon will be hosting a Paint for Patients night where people will be creating artwork for the patients in the hospital. The Department of Public Safety at Eastern Connecticut State University has been named one of the top 25 college and university police departments in the United States for its efforts to improve campus safety. Eastern was ranked 4th on the list of 25. Brown University in Rhode Island, ranked 19th, was the only other New England institution that made the top 25 list. The Safe Campus list recognizes outstanding achievement by administrative departments on college and university campuses. Earlier this year, Eastern's hometown of Willimantic was named to the list of the 50 safest college towns in America based on crime statistics. The list was compiled by SafeWise.com, a security and safety analytics company.
The 12th annual Day of Giving at Eastern Connecticut State University will occur on November 21st from noon to 2 p.m. in Hurley Hall. The event is open to the Willimantic residents who may not have Thanksgiving plans otherwise. Day of Giving is a collaboration between the Center for Community Engagement, the Office of Institutional Advancement, and Chartwells, Eastern's food service provider. Parking is available on campus with handicapped spaces in the Student Center lot. Last year's Day of Giving hosted approximately 500 community members.
The company that owns the Papa Gino's Pizza Parlor and D'Angelo's Sandwich Shop chains has confirmed it has closed 95 locations throughout New England, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, and reached an agreement to sell the business. The announcement Monday, November 6th, by Dedham-based PGHC Holdings came a day after many employees showed up for work on Sunday, just to find out the restaurants had closed without explanation. The terms were never disclosed. The restaurants that closed were described as underperforming, and the company said that 178 Papa Gino's and D'Angelo's locations still remain open.
As the semester comes to an end, clubs on campus have been crazier than ever. Sammy Honeywell takes us to one club in particular.
Since the beginning of the semester, RDT has been rehearsing their performance for their annual showcase. Megan Cole tells us about her favorite part of the club. Like any club on campus, there is also a lot of work that has to be done. Members of the club agree that the 2 days that they meet every week brings them closer together as a family.
Thanks, Sammy. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Megan Brooks will be here with this week's editorial. Stay with us.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Hello, Eastern. I'm Megan Brooks with this week's editorial. Any student in college knows the experience of dealing with the financial aid and bursar's office. Here at Eastern, our college prides itself on trying to be quick and easy about the application process, registration for classes, and more. But like any college, the two sections that seem to give students the most trouble are the financial aid office and the bursar's office. On any given day, the financial aid office states it gets between 30 and 50 students attempting to get help, and 40 to 50 phone calls. That is a lot of students in one day, be it physical or over the phone. The same applies to the bursar's office, receiving around 30 to 35 students a day to their windows. The attendants are pretty busy, especially because some processes like billing disbursements take longer than others. As a whole, second floor of the Wood Student Support Center receives a lot of foot traffic to the bursar's office due to students and families going in to make monthly payments for loans, parents asking questions, and students like myself trying to figure out why a hold was put onto their account. The most frustrating part of the whole process in the Wood Student Support Center is the fact that students are sent bouncing back and forth between the two offices. Though they are in the same room, it seems like the two offices do not communicate. The financial aid office quotes, "The holdup is on the bursar's end, not recognizing when holds are lifted. The financial aid comes through and we handle our side." On the other hand, the bursar's office explains that they have to wait for financial aid to come through before they can do anything with the loans and the payments. And when there is a delay or a backup because the billing cycles, they put holds onto students' accounts. That in of itself is frustrating. The bursar's office is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for anyone on campus. That sounds like a wide window for students to do what they need to financially, but in reality with classes and studying, that is not a lot of time to do what needs to be done. You would think in a college as efficient as ours, the financial aid office and bursar's office would be more organized and expedient. It can take up to a week and a half or longer for forms to be filed and dispersed to the correct places, which halts any movement along the bureaucratic chain on college campuses. That seems like a problem our college needs to work on. Thank you for joining me for this week's editorial. I'm Megan Brooks. Let's send it back to Imani and Connor.
Thanks, Megan. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included and I knew that I was going to be okay.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfies, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Authorities in California have released the names of almost 100 people that have been reported missing since the deadliest wildfire in California history began burning through Northern California last week. The death toll has reached 48 and continues to rise. More than 10,000 homes and businesses have been destroyed. California Governor Jerry Brown said in a press conference yesterday that this is unlike anything he has ever seen.
This is so devastating that I don't really have the words to describe it. It looks like a war zone. It is. It's the devastation that only fires of this kind could bring about.
Over 130,000 acres, and on Wednesday, FEMA Administrator Brock Long toured the damage and said it's some of the worst he's ever seen.
Unfortunately, everything that I've seen, this is just truly devastating and heartbreaking. It's one of the worst disasters that I've seen in my career, hands down.
According to officials, the fire is only 35% contained. Celebrities including Lady Gaga, Khloe Kardashian, Sandra Bullock, and Ellen DeGeneres have donated to various groups, including DeGeneres, who made a $100,000 donation to the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation.
It looks like President Trump might be looking to shake things up in the White House. A report came out Wednesday in the New York Times saying that Trump is looking at replacing Homeland Security head Kirstjen Nielsen and Chief of Staff John Kelly. The article went on to say, but inside the White House, removing Ms. Nielsen is also seen as a way for Mr. Trump to push out the White House Chief of Staff John Kelly without directly firing him. Nick Ayers, the Chief of Staff to Vice President Mike Pence, has long been seen as a prospective replacement for Mr. Kelly if he leaves. Another administration official, Myra Ricardo, who serves as the deputy to the National Security Advisor, was dismissed yesterday after First Lady Melania Trump complained about her earlier this week to John Kelly.
On Wednesday, President Donald Trump announced his support for a criminal justice reform plan. The First Step Act, developed by a bipartisan group led by key Trump advisor Jared Kushner, includes a number of things, including sentencing reform.
Third, the bill includes reasonable sentencing reforms while keeping dangerous and violent criminals off our streets. In many respects, we're getting very much tougher on the truly bad criminals, of which, unfortunately, there are many. But we're treating people differently for different crimes.
Key supporters of the bill hope that it can be put up for a floor vote within the next few months.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama is hitting the road on a 14-stop book tour for her new book, Becoming. The tour, stretching from Boston to London, kicked off earlier this week in Chicago, where Oprah Winfrey moderated a discussion with the former First Lady where she talked about a number of topics, including her time living in the White House.
The White House does feel like a home, and I always say that a house is a house, and what you bring to the home is what makes it at home, and how we lived in that home was what I remember most. And people ask, do I miss the White House? And it's like, no, I don't miss the house, because we took what was important in that house with us, and it is with us. It's family, it's values, it's the friendship.
The tour ends next month with the final stop being at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, with the discussion moderated by actress Sarah Jessica Parker.
Stan Lee, the co-creator of Marvel and creator of beloved characters like Spider-Man and Iron Man, passed away on Monday. He was 95 years old. Lee, during his career, was responsible for creating the backstories of all the Marvel superheroes we know today. His characters and their movies have grossed billions of dollars at the box office. Marvel was acquired by Disney back in 2009 for $4 billion.
We're going to take another quick break, but we'll be back with Dom Conti and his sports update.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
doesn't see race. Love is love.
Hello, Eastern, and welcome to this week's Sports Update. I'm Dom Conti. It was a quiet weekend in sports, as the only team in action was the swimming team, who hosted a meet against Rhode Island College on Saturday. The Warriors won the match by a score of 117-91 and had 9 swimmers swim their fastest times of the season. Sophomore Megan Lasto won the 400-meter individual medley and the 200-meter butterfly, while her twin sister Maggie won the 200-meter individual medley and had her fastest time of the season when she won the 500-meter freestyle. Senior co-captain Molly Lasto also had a strong showing, as she won both the 100-meter and the 200-meter backstroke, setting a personal best in the 100. The Warriors' next meet will be this Saturday up at Western New England University. The basketball season is right around the corner, with both men's and women's teams tipping off their season on the road this weekend. The guys will be in Massachusetts for their first tournament of the year, while the girls will be playing at Trinity College in Hartford. The men's team has a total of 4 returning seniors and 5 incoming freshmen, while the women's team is looking very young this year, with only 1 returning senior and 8 incoming freshmen. The home openers will be this coming Tuesday for the men against Connecticut College, and next Saturday against Williams College for the women. Inside the E, Director of Sports Broadcasting Alex Gabriel is back at it again. His newest video on Inside Eastern Athletics is another edition of Athletes versus Non-Athletes, where Alex tries his hand at softball. Take a look.
I'm Alex Gabriel with Inside Eastern Athletics, and on this edition of Athletes versus Non-Athletes, I'm going to get in the batter's box versus Morgan Bolduc. Fuck that! Are you kidding me? There's no way! She knows she's going to strike me out. If you hit me, we're not broadcasting any softball games this year. Wow! What was that, a strike? Oh. Oh, yep, that was right by me. See, when I played, I just walked every time. Oh, yep, head's way out of there. What should I be doing differently? Okay, you're stepping out. Yeah, because I'm scared. Oh, Jesus. That's so embarrassing.
That was the highlight of the day.
Oh, man. I played about 8 years of baseball and was never good at it.
And that's going to do it for this week's Sports Update. Be sure to check out GoWarriorAthletics.com for all things Eastern sports, and follow our Instagram page at ECSU Athletics and at Inside Eastern Athletics. Once again, I'm Dom Conti. Back to Connor and Amani.
Thanks, Dom. That's it for this week's show.
Thank you so much for joining us.
To keep up to date with all things ETV, be sure to follow us on Instagram at ETV News _ and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Also, make sure you like us on Facebook at ETV News ECSU. And if you have any ideas for things you'd like to see on the show, email us at etv@my.easternct.edu. I'm Imani Futrell.
And I'm Connor O'Malley. We'll see you next week, Eastern.